of a jailer. And a smarter attack and they withhold the inhaler. If the shoe doesn't fit, what good is a tailor? In the midst of this crisis, please cancel the gala. Without a symphony, there's no need for a prelude to foreshadow what's to come. See, the secret committees commence with their meetings to make red tape in response to simple questions. Questions threaten the perception of a beneficial system or pyramid scheme with its cogs and its pistons. Mechanization of man, making more and more live in a miserable existence. How can so few claim so many victims? And this begs the question. My arrest is a weapon against the oppression of man's obsession to control things. Look at the long line of make-believe kings, and the Lord of the Flies wants you to kiss his ring. Follow new rules with invisible strings and become a puppet in a diabolical scheme. How do good men become a part of the regime? They don't believe in resistance.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, podcast fans of all ages, thank you for joining us on the Political Deep Dive. I am Dave Valente, joined this week by Joe Solosky. Joe, what is going on, sir?
I'm back.
Hey,
bigger
Brandy.
and better than ever before.
Awesome. And joining us as well, co-hosting tonight, was Charles Hall. Charles, how you doing, sir?
Well, I'm glad I haven't tanked the ratings lately, so I'm here.
I'm glad to have you on, man. Charles is on because he's an author as well, and we'll be talking about banned books after our interview with our guest Liz DelSignore. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm getting over a cold, but I'm good.
There you go. You are a first-time author.
I am.
And your book is called From Death to Birth. It is out on Amazon. In fact, hold on just a second. I've got some really cool stuff that I can pop up on the screen here.
Oh,
I'm gonna pop up on the screen if I can find it. Hold on a second. There we go. There we go. If you're so inclined, join us by taking a picture of holding up your camera to the screen here, and you got the Amazon thing. You click and you go right to it, and it'll bring you right there. You can buy her book. It's a great book. And I've been reading it the last few days. And so, Liz, tell us a little bit about your book.
So I initially got the idea for the book late February, early March last year, 24. And I wasn't doing anything in particular. I was actually on my way to work. I was about to get on the freeway. And it popped into my head. I was like, what if I wrote a book that happens with reverse chronology? And I tend to taking tropes and turning them on their heads, or just coming up with one of my own. That's what happened, and I couldn't stop thinking about it throughout the rest of the day. It was like my number one invasive thought when I was at work. And then that night I'm laying in bed and I'm on my phone and I'm just messaging my friend Stephanie. I was like, hey, I've got this really good idea for a book. And I start typing it out in Google Docs, just brain dumping, and that would become the start of that first chapter. And I only wrote maybe a little paragraph, but she ended up liking it, and then I started telling people about it to see if it would have legs, and they're like, yeah, I would read that. So it became the first chapter, then I started writing another chapter. Next thing I know, I've got 5 chapters. I'm like, oh, this thing has legs. Maybe I should finish it.
Nice. So briefly explain. I know you don't want to give away spoilers or anything, but explain the concept of your book and what it's all about.
Yeah, so the concept of the book is that the main character, James, he goes by Jim or Jimmy throughout the book, but uh, he wakes up in the afterlife. So he's like, where am I? And why am I seeing God? Right? And it's not a super religious book by any means. I mean, it's just here and there's little references, but it's not super religious.
Mhm.
And he starts off in the afterlife, and then he has to go through his life in reverse. Yeah, Janice got it. That was my first thought on the title. And so the last chapter is his birth, and it's a reversal through time to figure out like who he was and what he meant to people and what meant something to him.
It's interesting because this is actually a topic that I've always wanted to do on. Lots of people, when they talk about near death experiences, they talk about um, maybe doing a life review of some sort. It's one of the features of a lot of people's near death experiences, where they review their life and they are able to see it not only from their perspective but from the person they're interacting with's perspective. Um, but yeah, this is I mean, that's kind of what drew me to the book originally, was hearing, starting from death and then, reliving the life in a reverse chronological order. Um, uh, what drove you to go this direction?
I don't know. I was just, I haven't even heard Benjamin Button in so long that, since that movie came out. And I was just, I don't really know if I have a specific motivation for going that reverse direction. It was just, this would be an interesting trope, and uh, it's different. Like, nobody's really expecting that kind of thing. To answer Janice's question, he goes from like birth to 62, about 62, and the main character is based on my dad, who only lived to 58. So I added some more, but he goes into his early 60s, and it just kind of happened the way it did.
Yeah. So doing a nonlinear story it can be tricky. I mean, like most stories will either be linear or there'll be some allusion to prior events or things like that if
Right.
you do go nonlinear. How do you keep track with that? Was there anything that you did specifically to keep yourself on track and not, running over a prior storyline or running past the prior storyline?
So I wrote it the correct order, but I wrote it from the ending to the beginning. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
that
a
way
lot of
that way it goes in order both ways.
yeah.
Very cool.
That's, I mean, a lot of authors do and start with the end in mind and work backwards, so that makes sense.
Yeah, like I wrote the first couple chapters like in the beginning, and then I was like, wait a second, I should probably do this from the end because it'll make more sense both ways if I do it like that because of the chronology. So that's what I did. I started pretty much writing from the birth all the way up to the beginning, and my editor was impatient with me the whole way through.
Well,
Ta-
well,
Yeah, go
honestly,
for it.
Liz, they've got to be an editor, right? They got to do that.
You're
So
right.
let me ask you, how's the book doing? How's it selling? Are you pleased?
I just had my book launch party last night,
Oh,
so
a little early for that question. Well, good luck.
uh,
Congratulations.
and there she is, editor Goblin has
Hey,
survived.
nice. Ah,
Ah, that's great. That's
excellent.
great. So remember, just remember this, Liz. If anything goes wrong, it's the editor's fault. We all know.
No,
Never
no.
blame your
Like,
editor.
no,
Never-
I told her straight up, like, I want you to write the forward and bonus points if you get me to show real human emotion. And she made me cry at work. And I was like, how dare you, bitch?
Love it. Love it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So, now you this is loosely based off of your dad's life. Was there a scene while you were doing this, or a chapter that you were doing this was particularly hard for you to write?
I would say that, yeah, so the Vietnam chapters are hard to write because I had to do like a lot of research in the form of reading about like frontline experiences in the Vietnam War because obviously I wasn't alive.
Yeah.
And I obviously don't have my dad to write it about,
You
to
weren't?
ask these questions.
You weren't? I'm assuming you were there in 1955. Come on. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But I watched countless like YouTube videos and I didn't need like as far as names of anything. I mostly needed the experiences. So I watched countless hours of interviews with veterans and it was hard to write those because it was America's most unpopular war up to date at the time. And it really should have never happened. And my dad, I found his documents from the military when he got drafted, and he was a military police. So I was trying to base like my writing around that, and I also like allude to talk about the substance abuse problems that a lot of the veterans had while they were overseas, and that really dug into my heartstrings because it's like I've had friends overdose on drugs too, and that made it hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So, looking back over your over a past life and constructing a book this way, what does it say about kind of the ideas of regret? Maybe you know because you look back over your past life, and most people will have some sort of regrets. Would that be a big theme here?
Well,
I don't really try to focus on regret of experiences too much. Like there are definitely times of grief throughout, but I don't focus on regret because realistically we're human beings, we're all going to make mistakes,
mhm.
and it's a matter of what you do with the information of having made those mistakes that kind of matters more because on any given day, I mean, just this past week I went like on a work trip and I made tons of mistakes and people made tons of mistakes and wasted my time, but you know it's I'm gonna still move forward from it because there's nothing else I can really do, right? So I
Makes
try to not focus on the regret as much as the experience of going through life and making the most of it.
you know that's a wonderful approach, Liz. It makes me think of the Frank Sinatra song and his lines: "Regrets, I've had a few, but
Yep,
then again, too
yep.
few to
To
mention." I mean, that
mention.
nails it, and you
Yeah.
just have to leave them
Yep.
behind. We've all got them. We've all got them, and we move forward.
And that's
Mhm.
actually a common thread when we talk about past lives or life review when it comes to near death experiences. That it's not to yes, you experience the what happened and you experience it from multiple different angles, but it's not for shame, not for regret. It's for what did you learn from this? What did you and I think that's, a very healthy way of looking at it. Instead of looking back over your life well, we all are moving along in our lives, looking back, regrets, yeah, you can have regrets, but it's how you learn from them and how you move on
Yes.
from what's going
Yes.
on. To that really makes a difference in how you learn from or how you conduct your life moving forward. So, um,
Yep.
so now that you've written your first book, are you bit with the author bug? Or
Oh yeah.
are you
Are you
you already
really?
got you already got other ones cooking up in your mind?
I may have already wrote like a page and a half of another one.
Well,
Nice,
Yeah, and
nice.
Liz,
I was going to ask what's the art style.
Liz, Liz, I was going to say that if you're looking for some sort of amazing character in your book, I just want to say that I just might be available.
Well, Joe, you are a character.
I am a character. I am a character.
Yeah, I was going to ask Liz, what's in your slush pile?
My what?
Your slush pile. The tidbits of stories, the thoughts, the threads that you have to go on.
Great.
I don't.
Those 19 other stories that you haven't written yet. That's a great question.
The 10 other file folders that you have with 500 words.
I don't really have something that concrete. It's mostly just jumble in my head until I decide to write about something that I think can come to fruition.
Nice.
So it's I don't really have like a slush pile, I guess.
Yeah, that's something you build up. So I've got several in mind.
How long did it take you to write this book?
So in total, it was about a year and a half, but I went several months where I didn't write. So I had like when I was in like there were a couple semesters where I barely wrote. So I remember I started late February, early March of 24, and that spring semester was right before I graduated with an associate's degree, and I was doing a lot of like I had a capstone class I was taking, and that pretty much swallowed up my entire life, will to live, free time, everything. So I finally graduated in May last year, and then I was like, okay, so I'm gonna try and take more time to write. But that summer I didn't really write all that much. I probably wrote 85% of the book since like between November of last year, so right around my birthday in early November, to pretty much August of this year, so 2 months ago. I wrote most of the book in that time frame.
That's amazing. It makes sense though, because right after graduating, the last thing you want to do is sit there and write another paper.
Yeah, really.
It took me a long time to actually read another book after I graduated with my master's. Like I just like I can't. Like I forgot how to read.
Dave, what's your master's in?
Diplomacy.
Whoa! How appropriate.
No, not really. Anybody who's seen me online knows that like
Valente is available.
Dave Valente is the least diplomatic person I know.
Oh please, I'm way worse than you sometimes, Dave.
You should see the memes he shares.
I just go back to rants, so y'all don't see my stuff.
So Craig did ask any advice to people who want to write. Honestly, like just get it out of your head. Like it's not going to do any good staying there, especially if you want to have it come to fruition. Just start writing it. It doesn't matter if it sounds ridiculous to you. You can always edit it later. You can always ask, a friend for input. Like just dump it out of your mind as you have it. Like I'm going to go a little off track here, but Taylor Swift is like known to just carry her phone on her and just record little bits of songs, and to the annoyance of her friends, because they're like, you're writing another song again, right? Like just get it out of your head, and then you can flesh it out later. You can decide, hey, I don't like this storyline at all, and chuck it out the door. It doesn't matter. Just get it out of your head and write. And like what happened to me, it could turn into something else, and it could flesh out.
Powerful.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the process of getting it published, getting it out there. That's half the battle, is getting a book from on paper to publishing it and getting it out there. It's gotten easier in some respects because of the more open marketplace, actually printing and all that stuff. But it's different. So describe the process of getting this up on Amazon and all that stuff.
Yeah, so to me it was a pretty straightforward process, but I also do a lot of research, like to an annoying level sometimes. And so what you need to publish a book is you need an ISBN, at least one. And so an ISBN, it stands for International Standard Book Number. And if you think about it as like a social security number for your book, right?
That's
It's
an interesting way
unique.
of looking at it.
It's a unique way of identifying that version of that title. So why the reason why I say that is because you need an ISBN for different versions. The paperback needs its own ISBN. The hardcover needs its own ISBN. You can optionally have an ISBN for an audiobook, which I did, and that was because I filed copyright applications for them. So, and then you also can have an ISBN for the Kindle or your ebook. So you buy the ISBNs from a company called Bowker, and they're a third party. It's myidentifiers.com, and you can buy either one or you can buy a bulk of 10. Well, the bulk of 10 is cheaper per diem than if you bought one individually. So I just was like, screw it, I'm buying 10 of them, and they don't expire. So you can use them for different titles. I'm good for a couple bucks, right? And so that's one of the first things. And then obviously, like, if you're not great at Photoshop yourself, I went on Fiverr and I got a designer. This dude's from Germany and he absolutely killed it. Like, I
It is
told
a
him
really
my ideas.
cool. Yeah, it's a really cool
I
cover.
told him my ideas, and the first time I was like, I like this one and this one, like different aspects. And so I'm like, can you combine these concepts together? And literally, as soon as I saw it, I was like, absolutely nailed it. How do I pay you?
So if you see on the cover is on the left-hand side of that. It's a really cool cover. I really like that.
Yeah. And then from there, like, you go to Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP. So it's kdp.amazon.com. You add in your details, and they have manuscript templates in Word. So I pretty much just used that and typed everything. That's how I was telling people, oh, I'm up to this many pages. Because it tells you on the bottom, the pages. It's exactly how it looks in your hands or on your Kindle. And, you upload everything, and they send you hate mail, right? It's not really hate mail, but it's like, hey, you have until this date to upload everything. That way we can get it ready, which is like 4 or 5 days before. So my publication date was September 28th, and I think they told me like September 22nd or something like that. It's within a few days before. That way they have time to, kind of proof it, go through their QA process, get your link up and everything, and then I mean, I saw my book go live like 11:45 p.m., but I mean, it's not that big of a deal for 15 minutes. So, like, that's mostly the process.
You're doing one way of self-publishing, and I'm doing another way of self-publishing. I actually start out with Kickstarter as a crowdfunding to get the book to market, so to speak. Because I work in the picture book area, and it's $8,000 to $9,000 to get a picture book to market. If you hire a good illustrator and all of that, yeah. So it gets a little expensive depending on what type of self-publishing you do. But the other process is the query process, and I have seen that take 2 to 2.5 years for some authors just to get an agent and a publishing house to pick it up. So,
yeah, I mean, it's different depending on the type of book, but for like a novel, like I did, it's how I'm describing.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see how the book industry has really morphed. Now there's tons of issues in the book industry, but it used to be that to get published you had to go to you had to get an agent. An agent would have push the book out to several literary houses, and then hopefully one would pick it up and publish it for you. Now it's much more democratized on who can get published now, and it's that's a good thing.
Well, self-publishing has been around forever. It is the original form of publishing.
Sure.
what we call traditional publishing has really only existed in its current form for about the last 100 years. And the original traditional publishing was self-publishing. You went to the print
Yeah.
shop, you paid for them, they printed it out, you handed it out. I mean, there's
Or you paid a bunch of Trappist monks to
right,
inscribe it.
or you do what Poe did in Poe, basically the newspapers. This stuff would be published in newspapers and magazines, is how it was done back in the day, and then
Yeah.
it was filed into a book.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of authors that PJ O'Rourke was a big one on this one. He would write a ton of stuff for like National Lampoon, Car and Driver, several publications that he wrote for, and then he would compile them into books, and they're all funny as hell. So it's a good way to kind of double dip. You're getting your paycheck for writing for whatever magazine you're writing for, and then you turn around and sell those collections as a book and make money both ways. So,
The big thing about self-publishing that's changed in the last 15 years is
Yeah.
the success you can have self-publishing.
yes,
The Martian is a great example. David Weir started it out as a blog. It literally was blog posts. He was self-publishing it, and then it got picked up for a book. It got picked up to be compiled into a book, and it got picked up to be the movie. So it's just been the success of self-published books.
and it's not even just self-published books. We've seen success in fan fiction. I mean,
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey is the kind of the gold star of fanfic becoming
Started out
its
as a
own thing.
Twilight fan fiction.
Twilight fan fiction. My wife was reading it as it was being written on fan fiction sites. Yeah, it's crazy to think of it that way, but yeah. So you're published now. How long are you giving yourself to start really getting into that second book?
It might be out next year, but we'll see.
Yeah. Any do you have any firm plans of I need to write 500 words a day or anything like that, or are you just gonna
Not necessarily. Like, I even like put off school for a bit because I was like, I'll see about January because I could have started again in fall, but I was like, I'm about to publish a book and maybe I should take a breather.
Yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense.
I'm not like gung ho about the whole publication timeline with this one, just because I wanted to publish on my dad's birthday with this one. That's why I was so gung ho about getting it written so fast. But this next one, I'm gonna probably take my time with it, and let's just say that my post about looking for abandoned buildings in Vegas has a reason behind it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I was wondering if you were looking for that.
Interesting.
Yeah, Liz and I are cat friends. We send each other cat pics all cat pics all the time of my Princess Sophie the Fuzzy Button and Vinny are traded back and forth quite frequently. So, but yeah, I mean, so abandoned buildings in the Vegas area. Now you're in Vegas, right? Yeah. So,
Are you really?
interesting.
So, Liz, I just had my 50th class reunion, and a good friend of mine from high school who I hadn't seen in 50 years has lived in Vegas all these times as a teacher. And so he's seen Vegas go through quite.
Oh God, yeah.
Where does he teach?
I don't know the exact district. He's now retired, but it was good to see Steve. And I haven't been in Vegas since 1996. We're talking 30 years. I don't think I'd recognize it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you think of all the classic casinos that were in Las Vegas, and
Stardust.
Hell, even the last 10 years versus what's there now.
Like, I mean, James Bond was in all those. They should have been preserved just because of the James Bond effect.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there are all kinds of cool things there now, like the Sphere and I guess they're building a baseball stadium where the Tropicana was one
for the athletics, right?
My parents met at the Tropicana.
Which is ironic because there's a
Really?
Tropicana field, or at
Yes.
least there used to be a Tropicana field.
Well,
I
there
can
still
tell-
is in St. Pete. The Trop's
It
still
will-
there.
It will be back in operation by April of next year.
They're getting the
Maybe.
roof back on. I went down last December, Dave. I visited my daughter, and she was a stone's throw, her apartment from the Trop, and I took some pictures of it. No roof left after the hurricane, but
Yeah,
they
so-
are working on it.
I know they're working on it, but another hurricane rolls through, and thankfully this year, knock on wood, we don't see any more hurricanes
We
roll through
dodged the
Florida,
bullet.
but yeah.
But the heck of it is, even after they get that new roof on, still the very, very worst ballpark
Stadium.
in America. It ain't no
Yeah.
PNC Park, let's face it.
It's true.
Right.
So, Liz, Las Vegas has seen like massive growth. I mean, you've got, and it used to be taboo to have even sports talked about in relation to Las Vegas. Now you've got a hockey team, you've got a football team, you're gonna get a baseball team at some point, maybe a NBA team eventually. What's it like being in Las Vegas and seeing the growth that's happened there?
So I'm going to tell you something. Like you're probably not going to believe me, but it's going to sound crazy. I kind of predicted the order of sports when I was like 6 years old.
Nice.
So when I was 6 years old, I remember like I'm sitting on the floor of my room and I'm just kind of like staring off into space. I'm thinking, right? Because I've been known to do that my whole life. And I was like, we're gonna get sports here one day, and I have a feeling it's gonna be something weird at first, like hockey. Because no one's gonna put a slab of ice in the desert.
In Vegas, how ironic is that?
I know. And then I was like, and you know what? They might be really good, and no one's going to expect it.
Yeah.
And then the next thing we're going to get is probably basketball first. We got the Aces next.
That's true. Yeah, we got the WNBA Aces.
And then after that, we're going to get football. The Raiders come.
Yes, they do.
Like a little 6-year-old me is thinking all this shit.
Liz, all I can say is you should have placed that bet. You should have placed that bet.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I've always known Vegas was a hockey town because of the success the ECHL had there.
Oh yeah, the
Now,
Wranglers.
can you
Yeah.
imagine my little 6-year-old self being like, "Daddy, I need you to place a bet for me"?
Yeah, well, here's the fun thing: their arena was tied into the Palms for the old ECHL team. They
Yeah.
actually played hockey at the casino.
Yeah. So, little kind of a historical fact when it comes to hockey is that the first outdoor game was actually in Las Vegas, which is amazing to me.
Really?
Preseason
I thought it was
preseason game
Florida.
between. It was a preseason game in '92. It was just after the Rangers won the Stanley Cup. They came out to Vegas to play the Los Angeles Kings in the parking lot of one of the casinos there.
I'm going to check into this. I got to do a little research, Dave. I honestly thought one of the first outdoor games was in Pittsburgh, but you may very well.
I mean, there may be
One of
some
classics.
older games, but yeah, the first NHL outdoor game
Okay.
of the modern era, I guess there may have been something way back in the day, but of the modern era, first outdoor game was an exhibition game between the Los Angeles Kings and the New York Rangers. Right after the Rangers, that would have been '94 actually.
I mean,
summer of '94.
let's do it in Vegas where ice can't exist. I mean, who'd have thunk?
Well, they did it. They ended up doing another outdoor game a couple of years ago up in Reno, around Lake Tahoe.
Mhm.
Yeah, on the golf
And that one actually had to be delayed because the sun was out and was melting. One thing they need to
Who would have thought?
The problem was it wasn't like all the ice was melting. It was where they put the logos and the sun was beating down on it, and the logos would heat up and would melt the ice where the logos were at. So they had to wait until the sun went down and restart the game.
The problem was they tried to play 2 games in one day.
This is true. That was another issue. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So wanted both of you on to talk about, because this week we are moving into Banned Book Week in the United States, something that we've seen a ton of especially over the last couple of years. Lots of books being banned by states. Charles, I know you do books that are, they're picture books, but they're also within a very targeted classification. So talk about your books and
So
why they're targeted.
I write in a very targeted own voice category of disabled wheelchair users. So most of my books, I have a character that's in a wheelchair. Now, the character is not exactly the way I would have normally done this. So it wasn't been as targeted. Some of the DEI targeting has kind of got me pissed off. So I changed racial makeups of the character. But because that diversity, inclusion, since all of that has been going on and has been targeted, picture books are very much targeted right now when they teach about diversity.
Oh yeah.
And so we actually have a library in South Carolina due to the political climate and the current rules, the current regulations around book bans. They are no longer buying children's books.
Like at
Kids
all.
don't read.
At all. Yeah, at all.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
at least we're not as bad as Tennessee, where they've actually banned nonfiction books. The one that comes to mind is the Kid Star Report. A high school student writing a report on the Clinton presidency in Tennessee cannot access the Star Report.
That's it blows my mind because I mean yes, I get there were sexual situations within the Star Report. Like I get that, but it was like and I've said for a long time we live in a post-truth society that we are willing to denigrate factual stuff to to accomplish whatever your political agendas or anything like that. This is very much an attack on that. This was and ironically, the Republicans are the ones who pushed the Star Report.
So there's a word that's been going around in a lot of the banned book circles. What is it? Prurient. Yeah.
What is it?
Prurient.
It's about sexual conduct in the books. And the problem is in the
You mean
No, hold on. They're saying that it's obscene material that should not be read by kids. The problem is, in 9 times out of 10 with these banned book bans, they are actually not applying Supreme Court cases. And they are banning books that literally pass the Miller test. Which part of the Miller test says if it has any literary or political effect, it can't be banned. Well, here's the kicker. This is the one that I think is the absolute funniest, and I still can't figure out how this was accomplished. In Kansas, they have banned Charlotte's Web.
Get out of here. Really?
And Charlotte's Web because of Wilbur talking.
Ridiculous.
Some kind of devil thing or something like.
But it's only in Kansas that this has happened. So yeah, you wouldn't be surprised. My own state has banned the perks of being a wallflower. If you go and you look at the list of what's being banned, it's coming of age books. It's about teaching people how to be themselves, how to think for themselves.
Well, if that's the case, then I look forward to my book being banned in the future.
Oh, I look forward
Wear
to
it
my
like a
stuff being
badge
banned.
of honor.
Yeah,
I will. I've literally told Dave I want to be on a banned books list by the federal government.
And you know the best thing about that is once you hit that list, everybody's saying, "Gee, I got to read that book."
Right. Thank you.
But I mean, I'll give you how crazy it's been in South Carolina. We're like number 3 in the country in banned books right now. And we would have been number one if the entire list had been accepted by the State Board of Education. And on that list was Romeo and Juliet, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Outsiders.
I'm looking at a list here.
Yeah.
A Clockwork Orange is one of them. One of the better movies I've ever seen.
So
let's see. A lot of these I haven't heard of before. Forever by Judy Blume.
Oh, Judy Blume! How dare
How do you ban Judy Blume? Now, Judy Blume, yes, she did. She did a lot of books that do talk about. You're like you said, Charles, coming of age. You're a teenage
Yeah.
boy or teenage girl, and shit's changing on you. And some of her books helped me go through that process, and it wasn't about sexualizing it. It's about explaining what the fuck's happening to me.
Right.
Yeah, that Judy Blume again.
Sure.
I think for us as people in the liberty movement that you should live your life in such a way that you end up on government lists.
Yes.
But
Absolutely. Here.
but yeah, it's sad because I think people have been prior to this most recent administration, people have been much more comfortable accepting who they are and
yeah,
learning about who they are, because there are people out there, there are characters out there in books that they're able to read about. Yeah, The Perks of Being a Wallflower is one of them. Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West is also banned. But we are able to see. Well, we're able to see a character in ourselves. Like I saw it in that Judy Blume book, a character that was going through the early stages of puberty. Oh my God, this really cute girl said something to me, and all of a sudden I got to put a book in front of my pants because I'm a 14-year-old boy or a 12-year-old boy that just discovered girls. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
She explained it to me that I was like, oh, sometimes you do need to have that book.
Yeah. Let's face it, we
carrying
all
the
did
book bag in
along
front
the
of
way,
you.
didn't we?
Here's the fun one. And I know this is a First Amendment thing, but yes, this is the fun one. If we're talking about going under the Prurient Rule, which is basically what they're using for the laws, the Bible should be banned in schools.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Literally, because of the sex content in it alone.
Oh yeah.
Have they? If they start banning Emily Dickinson, I think we're already down the slippery slope.
Well, we're already down the slippery slope because they banned Where the Wild Things Are.
That's crazy. That's crazy, Charles.
I mean,
I read that book to my own kids.
Joe, I looked at the list one day and I said, I read every single one of these books as a class assignment in middle school or high school.
Honestly, it makes you want to run out, buy them all, and buy at least 2 or 3 copies of Liz's book.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had AJ Campbell, who's been a host on the show. She spent a couple years actually reading nothing but banned books. I actually bought her a few banned books to send to her because she wanted to read these banned books. And the constant theme of a lot of these things is characters presented in a way that lets you understand that how you are. Whether it's The Color Purple, talking about the African American experience, or anything like that, or books about young gay people, or it really doesn't matter. It's people identifying with it, and people who say that my child was exposed to a book about LGBTQ issues, and now they're gay. No. I mean,
No.
They were gay.
Those kids read hundreds of books with nothing but straight characters in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and if they're gay, they're gay.
Exactly.
I posted this week that I people that tell me that homosexuality or alternative lifestyles are a choice are actually telling me that they have made a choice
themselves.
they have made a choice, and they've chosen against their deepest desired lifestyle, and they think that that is a rational choice that everyone should make. No, not at all.
The first time I was exposed to a homosexual character in a book was seventh grade, and it was a class. It was a book in a classroom library, and I didn't think anything of it then because it was just reading another book. But then again, I also grew up in a household where my grandmother and my mother both read trashy Harlequin romance novels, and if I
Not a
ran
lot
out
of
of
difference, really.
nah, and if I ran out of Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew or Rockstar Children stuff to read, from time to time I grab one of their books.
grab a
Oh,
Danielle Steele book and go
you
to
know,
town, huh?
Well, we're talking a little bit
those,
more. Fabio was on the cover.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, Charles, looking back, those Nancy Drew chicks were really kind of hot, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. I mean, yeah, they made a big impression on like 8 and 9-year-old me reading them.
You're cool. You're cool.
Well, so actually, I have a funny story about reading. I actually should have failed second grade based on my reading ability. This is one of the things about ADHD. So I'm in the hospital that summer having surgery, and I'm reading a Hardy Boys book because we finally got my ADHD under control and I can actually concentrate on reading. And my aunt comes in and looks at the book and she goes, "Oh, Hardy Boys, that was a great TV show." And I closed the book and I looked at her and said, "Aunt Carol, that was a little bit before my time." So you have to realize I came home from the hospital on her 18th birthday.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so but no, kids gotta read. Kids need to read. They need to read these coming of age stories. I've got a book right now in my Kindle library that I bought literally because I loved it as a ninth grade or as a 10th grader in high school. My name is Asher Lev. It's a 1960s book. It's a great coming of age battle between being yourself and being what your family wants you to be. And that's where a lot of that's what I don't understand is why are we attacking people's independence?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Their
like
logical thought, their rational thought.
yeah, I don't really get it myself. I mean, I've always advocated for, do whatever you want with your life. Don't make anything my problem.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't want your children reading those books, then don't let them read the books. Or they're
Right.
I mean, they're gonna read the books. I mean, that if they really have a desire to do that, don't make that choice for my children. Like that's the problem that I have is you're making the choice for my children.
Well,
rather
and the
than
problem that a lot of people on the other side are saying, well, it's not banned because you can still go to the public library and get them. Well,
no, they're pulling them from public libraries too.
pulling them from public libraries just because they haven't gotten into your state and they're pulling them from public libraries. Well, they're not banned. You can go buy them on Amazon. Well, guess what? Some states are trying to go after them.
If you are a person who wants to fight things like book bans and try and get this information out around whether like for me, I live in West Virginia, so a super rock red state. If you want to, there are tons of free libraries out there, and if you want to purchase like a couple copies of some of these books and put them in those free libraries, and maybe some kid will get a copy of Charlotte's Web or one of these other awful books.
51.
Yeah. I mean, the Catch 22 things like that routinely get banned. Put them in there. Let kids get exposed to some of this stuff, and in these little free libraries, unless the parent's not there when they go to it. If the parent looks at the book and says, I don't want you reading that, then they've got the ability to say that. But if you are in an area where books are being banned, having that inside of a little library may actually give that kid a chance to read something. The other thing that gets banned a lot are books that talk about sexual assault, and I get that
Yeah.
that's a tough subject. The great thing about these books, and I hate to say great thing about these books, but the great thing about these books is that it tells kids that if an adult is doing this stuff to you,
It's
that's
wrong.
grooming. That's
It's wrong.
wrong. Go to an adult to report it, or
Tell them it's
you know,
rape. Tell them
yeah,
it's rape.
Right.
yeah, absolutely. Telling people, and you know, there is a segment of American political society that does not want our children to understand that that's wrong. I mean, we're trying not to publish a list of Jeffrey Epstein because people don't want
Yeah.
that information to be out there that thinks that grooming young girls for sexual favors is wrong.
Mhm.
And it is. And you know, this country has gone really fucked up when it comes to what is going on with you know, giving people information, just
I-
basic information, basic truth.
Absolutely. And I'd like to point out to our studio audience, and I want you all to be proud of this. Our host, Dave Valente, is not in the Epstein files. He's not.
I am
folks.
not.
He's not.
Oh my god.
I am not. But the people that are protecting these, like Mike Johnson, you know,
I know. Come on, Republic. What the hell?
I think honestly, you should treat every whether you want to extend it to all politicians or just Republican politicians until they actually release this list, until this is out, treat them all as if they're in it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're all pedophiles.
Yeah, I would just blanket all of them, not even
Yeah,
going by
Yeah.
party.
yeah. I mean, you know, you could pull Thomas Massey off it because he is pushing pretty hard to get the list released.
Yes,
but
he is.
yeah, until this list is released, blanket accuse everybody just to put the pressure on them to actually release the list to show that I'm not on
I
there.
appreciate what Thomas Massey is doing. I want to point this out right now, folks. I've been a Thomas Massey fan for a long time, but all of a sudden I'm not. And the reason being is he not only, if I'm not mistaken, he voted not once but twice to not impeach Trump.
Yeah.
And then, you know, in 2024, right before the election, who comes out with an endorsement of Trump but
Massey.
Thomas
Yep.
Massey? I was so fucking, pardon my French, I was so fire trucking disappointed.
You can say fuck.
And
Okay.
that is not the Thomas Massey I thought we had.
You can't
Now,
say fuck on the radio, go and see it on television.
Yeah. We're not radio. We're
well,
I will
Well, then-
say this.
okay, well then let's go there then. I'm going to follow Liz's lead. Fuck Thomas Massey. Thank you, Liz. I love you.
As much as I'm not a Nancy Mace fan, I've had the defenders that she called on and signed on to get the Epstein
Yeah.
files brought out.
Absolutely.
And-
Liz
and another
Cheney.
thing, Nancy Mace is a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Worked
Well,
with
are you-
her on issues. She's a bitch, but I believe her when she says she was sexually assaulted. And I
absolutely
believe her
weird.
that was one of the reasons she signed on to this.
But it's absolutely weird political bedfellows we're seeing with this. Ro Khanna, with Thomas Massey. You've seen Nancy Mace sign on to it. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been one of the most
Who'd have
vocal
thunk it?
proponents
Yeah.
of releasing these things. Like, holy shit!
Yeah,
like,
that's-
what
I
are
don't
we-
know.
I look at
Combining
Marjorie
here.
Taylor Greene. I look at Marjorie Taylor Greene coming out and saying all these anti-Trump things and let's release the Epstein file things, and I'm thinking, what happened to you? Did you finally have a come to Jesus moment? Did you finally realize this country is going to expose you for who you really are, and now you're backpedaling?
Yeah, maybe
I
she
hope-
has darker secrets that she's trying to, you know.
She's definitely got skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, she
but I also looked at her and said, "Well, the governor's seat is up for election in Georgia. She's about to throw her hat."
Let's hope
I
that
mean-
doesn't happen. Let's hope that doesn't
Oh my
happen.
god.
Honestly, I want to see that happen because
Well,
the Georgia
I have
GOP will
learned-
eat itself alive.
Yeah,
I
I
have
mean, it
learned-
will.
I've learned from personal experience, people really don't want a good governor candidate. They just want who's on their team.
Yes.
They don't-
Right.
and it's a
They
shame.
won't.
It's truly
They
a
won't
shame.
care.
Well,
I mean,
it's been that way like for a while. They just want their guy to win. They want their character to succeed. They
Although I
don't give
think
a fuck about the office. They care about their guy winning.
yeah, I think to an extent that is true, but I mean there are times we've stepped over that line. Like last election, we had the North Carolina gubernatorial candidate who, that state's fairly purple, but will vote for Republicans. I mean, Jesse Helms was a senator from the state. I mean, but the guy that they nominated on the Republican side to be the governor candidate, first off being in some kind of weird slavery porn site that he was
Yeah.
in as an African American himself. Um, there was a line too far for even North Carolina voters to say, you know what, we're going to vote for the Democrat on this one.
We've
I think
got a Republican candidate in South Carolina right now that's running for governor that has made fun of first responders with PTSD on the floor of the state house when he was a representative,
Jesus,
and has pulled a gun on a constituent at a town hall.
holy shit! What?
Wow.
And he is a sitting congressman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
But David, he's a sitting congressman on the border of North Carolina and South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where
so how's that supposed to make him better?
No,
Well,
not really.
is he on the border like that truck stop that they're
No, he's not.
they're on
He's
North Carolina,
actually-
South Carolina on
his
the border?
District,
South of the
District
border.
actually-
South of the border.
his district actually butts up to the North Carolina South Carolina border at Charlotte.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
rough.
it's
It's
a
rough
fairly
going.
conservative area. I mean, Rock Hill, South
No,
Carolina
Rock
area.
Hill's actually a little bit more liberal than you would think it is.
Well, I mean, Charlotte, the city is liberal, and usually when you're in a metropolitan area, and Rock Hill is getting into that, it's kind of a conglomeration of
Yeah.
Charlotte and all that stuff. You're gonna get a little more left leaning, but yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, hell, there's I think it's an AG candidate here, or not here in West Virginia, but in Virginia proper, because they're about to have their primary elections pretty soon. That he's in the kind of the same porn sites that that the North Carolina gubernatorial candidate was in.
Yeah.
Like he's in this weird slavery kink. Like,
What about the Secretary of Education in Oklahoma?
oh, well, yeah. I mean, he's got porn on his during public hearings and stuff. Like,
He resigned. He stepped down last week.
did he finally resign?
Yeah, he finally resigned.
Ryan Walters was that?
He's taking a lobbyist position with another organization.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
So-
which
Love
tells
that.
me that the GOP in Oklahoma got him out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, he was I mean, look, there are firebrands, and I think both parties are dealing with firebrands, whether it's on the left with the Democratic Socialists, and then the more extreme Christian nationalist MAGA
Yeah,
folks like Ryan Walters in Oklahoma, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert. Like there are people that they want to kind of push to the side, but when you've got a KS agent as president, you really can't keep the circus under the tent.
And
At what point do we form the giant meteor of death party to just wipe
I-
everyone, please?
Seriously, what this meteor that's supposed to be coming by us in 2029? I'm
Yeah.
kind of hoping there's a little deviation of the course at this point.
Right.
Nukes at it.
and then Lauren Boebert, on her dark theater re-election tour, it might prove to be effective. Who knows?
Sometimes you just got to give people a hand.
And she did. She did. Oh, didn't she ever? I'm terrible.
Yeah. So, the ban books. There are ways to get around this stuff. I know that there was a controversy with an Oklahoma teacher a few years ago who there's free libraries out there. Get those links to people who have access to internet and can, want to get around these things. Do what you can, because it's information. That's what they're trying to really control is our access to information, our trust in information, our ability to relate to one another. They're trying to drive us apart so we don't talk to one another. But yeah, whatever you can do to get around these book bans, to put them in little libraries, to go and speak at your school board meetings and say, you know what, this is absolute madness, that we're banning books.
Send emails to your lawmakers.
Yeah,
I
educate
also,
yourself.
on a very personal basis, I remember when my kids were young, periodically I would have the opportunity to be a reader in one of their classrooms. I think this is a wonderful opportunity. We could have a banned book and have a much more different, greater, larger opportunity to read to kids. Maybe they're older, maybe they're middle school, maybe they're high school, but we're all getting together just to freaking read.
Yeah.
And it'd be wonderful.
We're talking about something like that in South Carolina for next year.
Nice.
Awesome.
We're actually talking about a legislative action day, probably 2 of them, and bringing students to the State House with authors and other people to, well, basically teach them how to be lobbyists. But I have a feeling that we're gonna see a whole new generation of activists come out of this. We're not talking about the type of activist we've got right now. We're talking about the 1960s activist again.
Yes, that's what we need right there, Charles.
We are. I mean, that's the thing. Last week I was talking about, why haven't we seen the politicians declare something like a day of action or general strike or anything like that? They're afraid of the people actually becoming
activists. Yes, they don't want. They don't know many people becoming like Dr. Martin Luther King. That's frightening. That's scary. Their whole power tips.
It's
right.
Yeah. It's not just the Republicans who are afraid of this. The Democrats. The Democrats have been just absolutely wasteoids when it comes to what's going on in this. The leadership of the Democratic Party have been wasteoids when it comes to actually, recommend. I mean, how many strongly worded letters are we going to get from Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries? Like, okay, great. Those are going right into the round file when they get to the White House. They don't give a shit what you think. You're in the minority of the House and the Senate. They don't give a crap. So let's start talking about external action. But they fear that because they've been such, like, once, let's say there is national action and it is actually very successful in getting rid of Donald Trump or severely altering the election in 2026 or 2028, that people aren't going to accept inaction or crap from politicians like that. I think that's what they're afraid of, is they don't want to activate the populace other than to get them to give them money. Like, it feels like the only thing they want is
I think there should be more Make America Read Again, not just books, but to think critically, because something that it's categorically not even taught in schools anymore.
Yeah, critical thinking, and that the problem with education and the reliance on standardized testing and the fear that they've droned into teachers and administrators when it comes to standardized testing has been, let's teach the test, let's teach test taking strategies. We're not teaching critical thinking to deal with issues.
And then
we're not teaching
college and you don't have the skills to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the colleges now are making lots of money off of giving remedial education.
Yeah.
Because the students don't know how to think for themselves. They don't know, they know how to test taking strategies, but they don't know, like,
we got to stop time.
Which makes them sometimes much more manipulative.
Yeah.
We've got to stop times. We've got to stop tying school funding to standardized testing.
Yes. I mean, there are ways to reform the education system to encourage reading. Hell, even the when we were kids, the idea of you read 5 books, you get to go to Pizza Hut and get a pizza.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Book it. Let's go to Pizza Hut. I got a little pan pizza waiting for me.
Well, it's like Corey DeAngelis is always saying, fund students, not systems.
Well, yeah, you fund students, not systems, and fund. I mean, look, the state of West Virginia. My wife is a teacher, and the state of West Virginia. There, and this is endemic with a lot of school systems, is that they are way too top heavy. There are way too many administrators,
Yep.
and it's
Absolutely.
to comply to all the bullshit regulations, whether it's a state regulation or a federal regulation. They got to have all these administrators to administer the stuff. They're hamstringing their teachers in that, anytime a parent complains about something, it's the teacher's fault, and anytime um, any failure is seen as a failure of the teacher, when home environments for kids right now is
Y-
trash, especially here in West
Oh,
Virginia.
it's a hate crime.
And,
Yeah.
and let's face it, at the school level, there's far, far, far too many administrators.
Yeah, like I went back to my high school graduation, like I think it was about 12 years ago. When I went to high school, there was a principal, and there were a couple of vice principals, and then there was like an athletic director and things like that.
Right.
Now those folks are all listed as principals.
Yeah.
There's a first grade there's a high school principal, then the senior principal, the junior principal, the 11th or the 10th grade principal, sophomore principal, and the freshman principals. And you know that they're getting paid commensurate with that title.
Oh, yes.
And
We
then
had
there's the
we had
athletic
those.
principal. Yeah, there's an athletic principal, and then there's like a activities principal. All these people are getting paid top dollar to do jobs that 15 years ago were at best vice principals or just regular
Right.
administrators.
Or just
But
regular.
that money is not getting down to the student.
No, it's not. Never.
Yeah, I mean
That would be far too logical. Get out of here with that.
I know, like,
It's not getting down to the student. It's burning teachers out.
yes,
We're looking at classes.
And never mind a teacher shortage.
yeah,
We had what was it? We had a vice principal in charge of curriculum when I was in high school.
We need all this exposed. We need all this corruption exposed. We need, I don't know. Let me think. We need some really cool authors to write books and let us know what the hell is. Oh, Liz, you're here. What do you know? I'm terrible. Forgive me.
At least include the fact that the local school in your notes book has way too many fucking principals.
Well, it was West Virginia actually that got me started looking into the books and the school problem. And it was a friend of mine's teenager that was going to a middle school in West Virginia
Mhm.
that I found out that how they were studying. I think it was To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh,
They
yeah,
did-
that's a popular one to ban.
That they didn't have a classroom set of the books. That they were literally doing it via audiobook in class. And I'm like, seriously, you don't have? There's not. The school doesn't have 25 copies of this book.
Oh no, and To Kill a Mockingbird is one that is frequently banned in school systems because of
It makes it makes people uncomfortable.
well, yeah, it has
Isn't that
rape
the
in it,
whole idea?
has murder in it.
It
Has,
makes people uncomfortable. I mean, like, come on.
I'm disabled. Of mice and men makes me uncomfortable. But that doesn't mean I want to see it banned in the classroom.
We got to face it. You're nailing it, Charles. You're nailing it.
yeah, I mean, look, just because something makes you uncomfortable, and this is, I hear the argument for banning books a lot from Republicans. These are the same people that tell me, you got to toughen up, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you got, there are too many snowflakes, too many participation trophies. Life is difficult. Life will present you information that may make you feel bad, may make you look at how you're living your life and say, you know what, man, I think I need a change. And that's the service that books give us, is the idea that a peek into someone else's life or someone else's situation and allows us to examine our own situation and perhaps make changes. We've done a show on books where we've talked about our favorite books. One of my favorite books of all time is The Power of One by Bryce Courtney, which is a book about South Africa, but it's actually a story about a young child who was bullied.
You know,
And
people might give me side eye about my favorite book.
but
What's that? What's that?
American Psycho.
Not at all.
Neat,
not at all. Yeah.
A little bit of influence there, huh?
Wait, what was the question?
I said little bit of influence there, huh?
A little bit.
A
a little bit. I think the idea that books tell us about ourselves and tell us allow us to see things from a different perspective is a good thing, and we should be fighting for more inclusion of books rather than trying to prevent if I have a problem with the book, no one should read it. No. Let people read the book. Yeah, it was a great movie, the Power One, but the book is far better. As it often is, the book is always better than the movie. So, but Power One,
the book for American Psycho was a really weird experience about 2/3 of the way through, because like it's written in the first person as Pat Bateman, right? But like about 2/3 of the way through, he starts like changing tense. It starts going from first to third, like back and forth, and I think it's because
dissociating.
Yeah, he's dissociating and he's actually going insane. Like, and having that was it's like I have seen the movie, and the movie's great with Christian Bale. I love Christian Bale, but it's just a different experience when you have that tense changing all of a sudden.
Yeah. All right, y'all ready for the quiz?
Quiz
Oh,
time.
boy.
This is fun.
The quiz time. Liz, don't worry about the
quiz.
So
Liz, let me
quiz
give
is
you
relatively harmless.
Let me tell you, Liz, who among us typically gets no of the answers right? You get one guess. That's right. It would be me. Go, Liz. Go, Liz.
Well, Dave already volunteered himself.
All right. Let's see. All right, there we go. All right, so weekly news quiz from CNN on October 3rd. So everything that's happened this weekend will not be on the quiz, but we see our stern generals looking. We'll talk about that in a minute. Looks like smog of some sort. Our stern generals. And what's the third one? Oh, some destruction of some sort.
Looks kind of earthquakey.
Yeah, it looks like an earthquake. Yeah, powerful earthquake. So a government shutdown, a hefty tariff, a powerful earthquake. What do you remember from the week that was? Let's see.
Trump's an idiot.
Well,
Facts.
You don't need to remember that. He gives us plenty of reminders.
I did.
We need to invoke the 25th.
Yeah, good. Well, that's why he surrounded himself with all these sycophants. Is that he doesn't want anybody invoking the 25th on him. Question number one: why did the U.S. government shut down this week? Cyber attack on government systems, natural disaster disrupted operations, lawmakers unable to reach federal budget deal, or federal employees went on strike.
Yes,
can't be the fourth one. No, it's not the fourth one.
Well, it's 3, but it's not. That's not the real answer.
Well, they don't want to release the Epstein.
Well, yeah, we all know that releasing the Epstein files is the only reason the government shut down.
Yeah, so lawmakers were unable to reach a budget deal. And yeah, Mike Johnson doesn't want to see Adelita Grijalva as the representative to be the 218th signature on the discharge petition of Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna's petition to have the Epstein files released. So, yeah.
Well, the only reason they couldn't reach the budget agreement is because they couldn't decide who's going to take the space shuttle to
take the space shuttle where?
Okay, so there's money in the budget to move the shuttle from Space Museum in DC. So the reason that they can't get an agreement is they can't decide how they're going to seize the property that they've already given to the Smithsonian.
Mm. Yeah, I mean,
in order to move it, they'd have to take the thing apart. Yeah,
because it's built into a hangar.
No, there's no equipment still in operation to do the demate of the shuttle from the carrier aircraft 747 carrier aircrafts as well. So there's literally no way to move the shuttle without disassembling.
Yeah. Brandy. Show knows about the budget way the Civil War was about slavery. Yeah. I mean, look, it is. I mean, there's the component of, I'm hearing a lot of Republicans parrot this thing about giving illegals health care, which is complete horse crap. The Democrats' version of the budget just restores the ACA subsidies when it comes to healthcare insurance, and if they don't pass that, then people who are on ACA will have massive increases in their
Well,
monthly payments for insurance.
and
I get
giving illegals health care is Republicans' fault anyway. It falls under the Emergency Medical Treatment and Active Labor Act that Reagan signed in '86.
yeah, you can't deny people coverage. They come into the hospital and they're bleeding, or the hospital has to give them at least enough treatment to stabilize the injury.
Yeah.
And then they can start talking about insurance and all that stuff. That's just it's good health management. You don't want people dying in the waiting room because they refuse to see them. It's just,
And that's the only legal way that an illegal immigrant gets free health care.
yes. Yeah. They're not going to your primary care provider and getting free health care. That's just they don't get preventative health care, which is why they end up in emergency rooms anyway. They
Yeah.
can't get preventative health care, so something festers into a more serious issue, and now all of a sudden they are in a major hospital. Question number 2: which religious leader this week called on governments worldwide to protect the environment? Dalai Lama, Pope Leo the 14th, Archbishop of Canterbury, or Bartholomew of Constantinople, which was once Istanbul?
I want to say it's Pope Leo.
I want to say Pope too.
Yeah, I did see what he said to advance. It was pretty funny. So yeah, I think it is Pope Leo. We'll go with Pope. Correct. In a speech on Wednesday, Pope Leo called for global action to tackle climate change. He said that damage to the natural world is incompatible with the Christian faith. I mean, which makes sense because all the Christian nationalists have no idea what the Christian faith is. So, question number 3: which company said it's taking action to reduce food additives in its private label products? Target, Costco, Trader Joe's, or Walmart?
I want to say that seems very Trader Joe's coded, but
I want
Seems
say
to
it's
me
very
as well.
Costco.
I want to say, I mean, yeah,
And
it feels
to
like
me,
Trader
Target
Joe's,
or-
something that Trader
Target or
Joe's would do.
Costco. See, Trader Joe's is all private brands anyway because it's owned by one of the Aldi.
Oh,
chains.
Brandy says Walmart. We've learned to
I
trust
got to go with Brandy. I got to go
Yeah.
with Brandy. She's infallible.
our Brandy should be Pope.
Pope Brandy.
Correct. Walmart will remove additive dyes to 30 other additives such as artificial sweeteners, fat substitutes, and various preservatives from its U.S. private brand food and beverages products. The company announced on Wednesday. I wonder what that means for like 0-calorie sodas or diet sodas. Will they stop selling those, or that's interesting.
Do they have a
Right.
Sam's Choice zero sugar?
A what?
Do they have a Sam's Choice zero sugar? That's the private
Not
label.
zero. They do have diet. Question number 4: conservationist Jane Goodall, who's famously known for studying which animals: leopards, elephants, parrots, or chimpanzees?
Chimpanzees. That's an easy one.
That
didn't
is
she
an
just
easy one.
die?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're bringing it up. She just croaked.
Yeah, she passed away this last week. It's
That wasn't.
It's sad. I mean, they're talking about giving Charlie Kirk a coin, and
Yeah, let's
Oh,
keep
fuck's
this
sake.
thing good always.
they're talking about giving Donald Trump a coin as well, too.
He already had his
No.
last election, his Bitcoin or whatever.
Yeah, he's got his
Screw him.
crypto scam.
Yeah.
Question number 5. Hundreds of senior military officers were ordered to attend a meeting this week in which state? Colorado, Georgia, Maryland, or Virginia?
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yes, it was Virginia.
And did
actually.
they
Correct.
like the guy that walked on stage? No.
Holy crap! Brandy got this one as well. Did you see the sexual chocolate moment at the end of that?
No.
Like when Pete Keg's breath is doing his, we're drawing fire. I'm gonna go, and he stops like at the end, like he's supposed to get this big applause line, and it is fucking crickets. And
Love it.
the only thing I could think of was sexual chocolate, and then just walking on the stage. That's what he should have done.
Way to go. Love it.
Yes, hundreds of U.S. generals and admirals around the world were called to Virginia for a meeting, which could have been a leaked signal chat by Secretary of Defense Pete Kegsbreath. Unusual gathering. Kegsbreath outlined his plans to make the U.S. military in his preferred image, which is a bigoted piece of shit.
And there couldn't be a bigger piece of racial bigotry than the beard situation.
Oh yeah, no beardo weirdo. Now, beards are actually really good camouflage, especially where we've been fighting, because the native population of those countries have big fucking bushy beards. So if you go in there with a big pale face,
You kind of
And
stick
you're a
out,
big target.
don't you?
You're standing out.
Well, here's the
Like-
thing, David. We had a Sikh finished Marine Corps basic training 2 years ago, and they okayed him to wear his religious beard and his turban.
Oh yeah,
That's the Marine Corps. They let that happen. Now there was a court order involved, but we'll see what happens with this one. I actually think there's going to be a court.
we've seen what this administration will do with court orders. So
Yeah, they use them as toilet paper.
yeah. Or use it as reasons to put us under martial law, as Stephen Miller is really agitating for. All right, question number 6. Which of the following did President Trump target with 100% tariff rate this week? Foreign-made movies, plastic toys, coffee beans, or aluminum cans? Or as the British say, aluminium. Even though there's
my god. Stop.
another extra I in there. Where the hell is that extra I in the aluminum?
Foreign-made movies.
Yeah, it's foreign movies, which is stupid.
Well, that's half of television is produced in Vancouver, so
Those goddamn Canadians. Those frostbacks.
Frostbacks is crazy.
I love Canada. Question number 7. A 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck which region this week? Central Philippines, Southern Japan, Northern Indonesia, or Eastern India? I want to say from that
India.
I want to say from that picture that we saw up here. Come on. There we go. There we go. All right. That's Philippines. I saw it on the back of that dude's t-shirt. See, context clues work sometimes.
Every once in a while, yes.
Yeah. Dan says Indonesia. You're wrong. Randy, of course, gets it again. Yeah, thank you. Central Philippines. Of a place to get hit by earthquake, Central Philippines, well, Southern Japan is probably the best place to get hit by earthquake. Central Philippines, not bad. Indonesia and India, those places would be towed up.
Yeah. In Indonesia would be a tsunami like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. So 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck the Central Philippines on Tuesday. Several buildings collapsed, littering the streets with debris. Question number 8. Which luxury automaker recently recalled nearly 200,000 vehicles due to a potential fire risk? BMW, Cadillac, Mercedes-Benz, or Porsche? I don't know this one.
I think it's Mercedes.
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 Mercedes. Brady says Beamer owners too. Let's do it.
Yeah, because most of them were made at the group.
Oh no, it's not. Oh no, and I. She said Beamers. Damn it! I clicked the wrong one. That's on me. Also. Beamers are BMWs. Sorry. Dave's reading is not good right now. BMW told nearly 200,000 vehicle owners to park outside because their cars could short circuit and catch fire. Awesome.
I think it was the EV
Ford,
hybrid.
Dan, you're right. It is the Ford Pinto.
It's not the Pontiac Fiera.
It's in the name.
I hate electronic vehicles.
Was this an electronic vehicle that?
Yeah, it's
Most
an i8
likely, if it's
thing.
catching on.
It's a hybrid issue.
Hybrid. All right, question number 9. An apartment high-rise partially collapsed this week after a massive explosion. Where did the blast occur? Los Angeles, Seattle, Miami, or New York City?
New York City.
New York City. Brandy got it. Correct. An explosion at the New York City apartment building blew off a chunk of the high-rise, terrifying residents in the Bronx. It's just hard because it's hard to terrify people in the Bronx.
Yeah, I'm just hoping somebody wasn't sitting on the toilet when that happened.
I mean, it could have been Taco Bell induced. I don't know. Or it could have been like a good Indian lamb vindaloo.
I'm personally hoping
it could have also been a street hot dog.
I'm hoping multiple people were on the toilet. They deserve to feel that effect.
Question number 10. Which fast food chain announced it is bringing back Monopoly after a decade? This one's easy. Burger King, KFC, McDonald's, or Wendy's?
It's McDonald's.
Got it. McDowell's with the golden arcs.
Mickey D's.
I'm voting for because I was a Calvin and Hobbes fan. I am voting for McZargles.
McZargles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got it 9 out of 10 because I clicked the wrong one. I'll take the loss on that one.
I wonder if they're going to actually protect the Monopoly game better this time. Because the last time they had somebody steal a bunch of the stickers.
Yeah, I mean,
and I don't care. I mean, I'm sure that McZargles can absorb that.
That's actually a good documentary on YouTube.
All right. Well, we got 9 out of 10 this week. Our guest that was going to be on next week, who's a congressional candidate in Pennsylvania, is going to be moving to the week after that. So we might do our
next week. Did you say?
It's Christine Kessler-Womack's candidate that she's working with.
Okay.
She's working a congressional campaign in central Pennsylvania.
You're working with Christine Womack?
Yeah, she might be on the show as well.
I got news for you. She's phenomenal. She was.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we've had her on the show before. Yeah, we've had her on a few times. But yeah,
campaign manager 3 years ago. She's phenomenal.
Awesome.
If she's backing someone and she's showing up on the show, it is worth noting. So Christine,
yeah, so
let's see you next week.
No, that's not next week. That is 2 weeks from now. So,
and
that would be
I'm back in the libertarian game.
Oh, what you doing?
What you doing, Charles?
Heading up disability policy for the South Carolina Senate candidate.
Nice.
Oh, nice, excellent. Actually, that's 3 weeks from now. I think she's.
Guys, we have another little guest over here.
Hey, what's up,
Vinny?
Liz, who's the little sweetie there?
His name is Vinny.
Vinny.
Anyway, before we go, buy the book. The QR code's up there. It's on Amazon. Check it out, from Death to Birth by Liz DelSignore. And anything else you want to talk about, Liz?
Just that this little dude right here has been my muse and my sanity and will to live some days.
Aren't they? Aren't they always? Aren't they? Aren't they always?
Liz, you've been wonderful. Let's have you on again, please.
Yes.
You've been a wonderful, wonderful guest.
Yeah, no worries. I'll do it again.
Yeah. And Charles, thanks for joining us. How do people find your books?
It'll be next year.
Next year. Okay.
So, but I have a website that is not finished yet, so I'm not going to publicize it. They can find me on Substack, charleshall.substack.com.
Awesome.
And like I said, my first book should be general public sale around March 15th.
Awesome.
The Kickstarter is scheduled for February 1st.
Well, get us some links, and we'll share those around when they're ready to go. So, yeah, thanks for joining us this week. We'll talk to everybody next week. Have a good one, everybody.
Next week, everyone.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
All right.